I have put together a list of crimes tourists commit while they're in Iceland, some without even knowing. When I picked up these strangers from the airport and took them to see the bridge between continents, we stood at the top of a rock and I proceeded to loudly explain how the bridge between continents was just a touristy gimmick and that continental drift is much more complicated than what the marketing makes it out to be. Little did I know that there was actually a grieving family burying the ashes of a loved family member close by. Well, I could have made this weird little funeral even worse if I had only told them that what they were doing was illegal. I'm glad I didn't, I felt awful enough, and this was a pretty victimless crime, unless they were disposing of the cremated remains of a murder victim. The burial laws in Iceland are really strict and really dumb. You're not allowed to keep the ashes of your loved one. You must leave them at the funeral home until they are ready to be buried. And that has to be in a legally specified cemetery. Those are church cemeteries, so if you worship the devil or Odin... crap. I'm sorry, you're going to heaven, like it or not. There are some very strict exceptions to this. You are allowed to scatter the ashes at sea or in barren areas. You must scatter all the ashes in the same place, and you must keep the urn at the funeral home until it's ready to be scattered. And you must return the empty urn to the funeral home promptly, so it can be burned. I have no idea why. Presumably so you can get charged for the privilege of burning an empty box. Oh, and you have to apply for an ash scattering license. Yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't be sorry for ruining those folks' funeral. They were clearly a gang of criminals. So number 2 is pickpockets. And I am going to take this opportunity to warn you that pickpocketing in Iceland has become a very common problem in the recent years. A gang of thugs travel here from presumably the 90s to pickpocket at popular tourist attractions. These thugs then scatter their ashes all over the place and leave before ever getting caught. They mostly operate in the south of Iceland in places such as Gullfoss and Geysir, and their ammo is that they ask their unsuspecting victims to take a picture for them. A member of the gang then picks your pocket while you're distracted taking a picture of mostly your thumb. The Icelandic Tourist Board did actually issue a warning about this in Icelandic, which I presume you have already read. So this probably isn't even news to you. And they also had some advice on how to avoid these thugs, which stopped just short of poking the eyes out of anybody who tries to approach you. So I'm not gonna share this advice here. Just keep an eye on your belongings in Iceland as you would anywhere else. We may have given you some false sense of security telling you that Iceland is the safest country in the world and that you can leave your babies outside sleeping and that sort of thing. There is still crime here. Thieves will steal your money, but nobody wants to steal your annoying baby, so you're free to leave that thing wherever you want, as long as it hasn't been cremated. As I've been editing this video, somebody actually broke into my car. Well, he went into my car, it was unlocked, because I am an idiot. I even know who it was. It was Iceland's criminal. I have his Facebook profile. I could go and visit him, because I know where he lives. Don't think it's a good idea though. I'm just gonna take this as a lesson to actually lock my car. It's unfortunate because I haven't really locked my car for 20 years and now I have to start doing it. Number 3, stealing rocks. You may have been tempted to pick up a rock and stick it in your pocket while you're in Iceland, or grab a brand new piece of lava from the most recent eruption as a souvenir. Well, that could be your ticket to hell after all, because that would be theft and God doesn't like that. My opinion is that who cares? Take your rocks, as long as it's not noticeable. And honestly, I don't really blame you for taking a souvenir rock rather than paying for a rock that has definitely been taken without specific permission for an unreasonable amount of money in a puffin store. But if the conscience gets the best of you, you can always send the rock back like this one person did. He found out after he got home that what he did was a crime, so he sent the rocks back to Iceland's Environmental Association along with about $100. And that's definitely not enough for the gas required to return those worthless rocks to where he took them. So my guess is that the rocks are probably just outside the window of the employee's office who opened the box with the disappointing content. Number 4, I think, ignoring paths. If you're not a member of the Facebook group Stupid Things People Do in Iceland, then let me summarize it for you. It's hundreds and hundreds of pictures of tourists stepping off the paths. It's a fun group, I recommend it for sure. It's a content goldmine. And this group isn't even called Stupid Things Tourists Do in Iceland, but people. And I can assure you that Icelanders do plenty of stupid things that never make it into that group. But ignoring paths is not one of them. It's considered rude and arrogant. In most cases, it's even illegal. The paths are not just there for your safety, but also to protect the fragile nature from the tramplings of stupid people. And last but not least, the crime that tourists commit that angers all Icelanders the most is driving off-road. Well, some Icelanders might get more angry if you commit the crime of not leaving after your visa expires while not being Caucasian. But even the racists will agree that you just don't drive off that road. Driving on the off-roads can be fun, for sure. So as soon as you get off that road, you're breaking the one law that really infuriates Icelanders. And you might lose your exhaust. If you want to come here and bury your asses outside a marked path in a popular tourist spot while pickpocketing rocks from other tourists, then you go right ahead, but you stay on that road. What laws have you broken on your travels? Put your confessions in the comment and feel free to hit like on this video. It helps me out tremendously. Have a great trip.